This is our little spirit. We're calling him Spirit of the Season for the holidays. Someone pulled up into an intersection, opened their door, and set him down. And a person beside him didn't even know what they were seeing happening, so they pulled up behind and picked him up and were shocked that they had a little ball of fur or something. And they brought him to the shelter, and he was only 4 weeks old then and believed to be deaf and blind. And the shelter veterinarian staff tested him, and they felt he was deaf and blind. So being he was found on the street, they still had to give him the regular days for the public to find him. And then we are an adoption partner for the city, so there is someone I have in that shelter that's very good, and we have a communication together, and she let me know about him right away. So we made arrangements that hopefully he could come to us. And he actually arrived 2 Saturdays ago. I have someone here today that was actually here that day, and she's commenting how he's at least 2.5 to 3 times his size. The shelter thought he was older than he was. He was actually only 4 weeks then, so he should never have been taken from his mother. He still needed much formula from mommy that has immunities in it, and he needed to be with his family and his siblings, and he's missed out on all that. So as soon as we got him back on formula. Of course, he went to my vet immediately, and the blood panels and test resulted that he had a high lymphocyte count and white count and a 1-degree temperature. So he was fighting some type of infection. It can also be a virus that can take a puppy's hearing and sight. She didn't say get your hopes up, but it's worth a try, and now we are very hopeful because he does hear when I did have to touch him to raise him. From the beginning though, he will look at overhead light, sunlight, fluorescent light, and just kind of daze at it like he sees a glow coming. So that's good. If you look at his eyes closely, they look a little bit white and cloudy, but they're actually clearer than they were. The antibiotics are helping because a few days ago, I no longer have to touch him to wake him up. Now when I do my little, good morning little spirit, how are you today? The little puppy baby talk you make. He perked up, spinned around, and cocks his ears from left to right. So we know he's hearing. And so now we're really hopeful that we might get sight, if not completely sighted, at least improvement from being no hearing and no sight. And we were already investigating how he would be trained and how he could be brought up, because I guess most dogs who can't see can hear, so at least you have hearing. You don't have both impairments. So at least having hearing, he's better off than he was. He's still on antibiotics, is going to continue to do so, and he goes back to the vet for monitoring. Hello, little guy. Are you looking out in the sunlight? And this kind of movement of listening and cocking his head, he did none of which to begin with. So you know something's coming through the faculties, for him to be listening and cocking and looking at light. So he's just been, of course, a pleasure and a little joy, and being the holiday season and all, we're kind of feeling like he's all of our symbol of hope and faith and all that's goodness to keep rooting for him. And however he turns out, he's still, of course, darling and loving and very much desirable to be own someone's heart. Hey, little guy.
He's turning on
Can
one
you look
side.
at cameras? Yeah, he always favored the left more, so that means he could hear more with the left before the right, but he does hear with both now.